Hey Arrowheads, welcome back to Queen Consolidated, a podcast dedicated to the CW show Arrows. Up for discussion today is episode 321, Sah-Him. Kelly, how did you like this episode?
I agree.
The most fun this episode was the revised intro, where he said his name was Oliver Queen. And the fact that he changed into something else for Theo was nice. I'm glad that they remember that they're siblings that are supposed to love and care for each other, because a lot of the last 3 seasons is not
in order to save my sister, yes.
So we open this episode with the tease that I like, dude, seriously, if that would have been real, I literally would have been on the first plane to Vancouver. No joke. Would you like to tell them the synopsis, and then we can dig into this episode?
Sure. Oliver goes through a rigorous transformation. The League of Assassins sets their sights on Nyssa, who's back in Starling City training Laurel. When Nyssa realizes they're coming, she arms up to face them alone, but Laurel asks Felicity and Diggle to help her protect her new friend.
How much their chagrin, it felt like.
Yeah.
This episode was written by, the story was by Beth Schwartz, and then the teleplay was by Brian Ford Sullivan, and Emilio Ortega Aldrich made a return. And also, Thor Fordenthal came back to direct another episode of Arrow. I think that Mark really likes Thor Fordenthal. I think this is like his 3rd episode this season.
I think you're right.
He also did an episode of The Flash, and I like Thor. It's just that I just can never get the fact that he directed Hotel for Dogs out of my head. Like, it's just stuck there, and it just makes me chuckle every time.
Well, I just think it's funny, his timing.
Oh, ha ha ha. Oh, if for those of us that didn't get that, that is a Marvel reference to the age of Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Took me a second. Does mother know that you wear her traits?
Yes.
It's like the only line I know. But anyway, we had Matt Nable reprise his role as Ra's al Ghul. We had Audrey Marie Anderson as Lila Diggle. Makes me laugh every time. Katrina Law as Nyssa al Ghul. And then, of course, Kyle Yoon and Ryla Fukushima as the Yamashiros.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll just get to the recap. I don't really have much to say. The directing was perfunctionatory, I think is the word that I'm looking for. Maybe. If that's a real word, I'm going to go with that. And the writing was kind of ho-hum and basic. For lack of a better term, it was very basic. If the dialogue was just really bad this episode.
Yeah, not my favorite either.
It hurt me. Like, it was just so dry and so stale. I just couldn't.
And there was one point that I did want to smack Laurel.
Yeah, there were several.
Because I want to like Laurel. You know I do.
I want people to like Laurel, but they make it hard. I totally get everybody's points, but for me, that's the writers. The character of Laurel can be so much more, but she's at the writer's mercy, and they are not. They want to sacrifice her. It feels like she's going to be the sacrificial lamb, because every time they take one step forward with Laurel, she's just her and Oliver deserve each other at this point. They're always taking the exact same 10 steps back, so it's just like that deja vu.
Okay, haven't we learned anything?
I feel like the first 3 seasons, honestly, is just one big giant season 1. We've just had 67 episodes of the first season.
Wow.
Yeah, we're on episode 67. Can you believe
No.
it? So, anyway, apparently it's been 3 weeks that Oliver's been with the League. That's kind of an arbitrary time jump, but whatever. I won't dwell on it. And he's been training with Ra's al Ghul in harsh conditions. And, he wants to become Sah-Him. He wants to embrace it. And, only Oliver Queen lives in the past, he says, which is funny because basically at this point it's true because of the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, speaking of flashbacks, but not really, because in present day, Maseo comes in and he interrupts the conversation between Roz and he has Diggle, and Diggle's like, I've been here the whole time, they never let me go, and Roz's like, no, he tried to come back and rescue him, you have to kill him now. And Oliver's like, I'm not gonna kill an unarmed man, and then Roz throws him a sword and they duel. And of course, Oliver wins and kills Diggle. And my whole timeline freaked out. And I'm like, this has to be a dream. This better be a dream.
Did you see the tweet from Steven before the episode?
Ew, what did he tweet?
Please forgive me for things that I may or may not do this evening, as I recall was how it went.
Oh, yikes. He loves playing with the fans, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steven for that. So, yeah, turns out Oliver's been under the Batman blue dust, and he's been subjected to an ancient herb that causes hallucination. And it looks like Oliver actually passed his test. But he wouldn't tell Ra's al Ghul who it was in his dream. And I don't know why he wouldn't.
Because I don't think he wants him to know who, because he talks about that the person, that person is usually important or, has significance. And I don't think he wants him to realize how significant his time in Starling City and everything was to him.
Really? You don't think Ra's knows that?
Yes and no. I don't think that he realizes. I mean, he thinks Diggle's his partner, but I don't think he realizes how close of a friend he is.
Well, of course, nobody knows who Diggle is. Despite him running around without a mask all the time next to the Arrow. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like they have a very significant relationship. I feel very cheated out of the Quiggle relationship a lot of the time, that they just throw it in for oohs and ahs and not actually develop that relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Well, or that some of it gets left on the floor.
Yeah.
And we don't ever see it.
So cut to them doing a little strolling around in a village, and he starts talking about the person he arrived in Nandapot with, which was Damien Dark, which was a fangirl squee. We'll get to that. No, I'll just talk about it right now. Damien Dark is it is a new Earth continuity for us comic book fans. You know what I'm saying. He was this baby-faced, mysterious dude. And, he claimed to be this major player in America's underworld. And he has this connection to Hive, which is why everybody was really excited. Because, obviously, we're going to go in the Hive in Season 4. Despite the lack of Deadshot that's been confirmed for us. So, a lot of people got really excited.
Wow.
He's also mostly closely tied to Teen Titans and Vandal Savage. And a lot of people raised an eyebrow about that one. Because Vandal Savage has a lot to do... he's kind of sort of like a Ra's al Ghul character. You guys can Google it if you want to know more about him, but it was just really fun to have that reference in those ties because of the spinoff. And we have Rip Hunter and all this other, who's the time traveler. So it's very interesting, these Easter eggs. And anyway, back to that. He said they were both up to become the heir to the demon, but Ra's won out. And Damien fled with water from the Lazarus pit, and now he runs Hive. But he's still been a thorn in Raz's side. And he's like, hey, you might not want to have a Damien of your own, which is foreshadowing, obviously. So, cut to Starling City, and we see Black Canary, with the help of Nyssa, catch a mugger. I'm like, Black Canary can't even catch a mugger on her own? Inconsistencies are inconsistent. So, and then this really pissed me off. In true writers don't know how to write female characters. Instead of continuing to train, they give milkshakes and burgers. And wouldn't you know it, Laurel even convinces Nyssa to dip that deep fried American mess in her milkshake.
Sure.
Oh, God. I was just like, first of all, it should be sushi. Laurel loves sushi. I don't know. And it seems like Nyssa kind of, sort of would like sushi, but we're eating milkshakes and fries. All right, whatever. Anyway, Laurel's really loving seeing Nyssa all normal. But then, out of nowhere, like, really bad transition, Nyssa tells Oliver has become the heir. And so Nyssa leaves in a hurry.
Yeah.
It's just like, that was just an awkward scene, dude. Like, it was so bad it threw me out of the moment. Like, this just doesn't feel real. This is not how people talk to each other.
You know what it is?
What?
The Lance family just has a thing about dinner.
Dude, don't they? It always has to be awkward, miserable, and unbearable.
Maybe that's how they stay so skinny.
You know what? Like, that belongs in the conspiracy theory section. Anyway, cut to Lila, Diggle, Thea, Felicity, and baby Sarah. They're having dinner and they're talking about Oliver, and I'm just like, aw. What's the rule, John? No Glocks on the table. It's generally a good rule to have when you have a baby around.
Probably, and, gunpowder can kind of mess up your whole, dinner.
Especially if they have awkward dinners like that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Laurel tracks Nyssa down and apologizes for keeping secrets, and Nyssa's like, tells us why she was upset. She's like, this means Oliver's gonna come for her. Laurel's like, Laurel's so convinced by this, she doesn't hesitate like the rest of the team, that she brings Nyssa to tell Diggle and Felicity. And they talk about the brainwashing, but Diggle and Felicity refuse to believe her. But Nissa's like, no, I'm not afraid. I'm just going to suit up and take him head on. And so after she leaves, Laurel's like, dude, you need to help her. And they're like, how? We don't even know where she went. And Laurel's like, she pulled Oliver. She put a tracker on Nissa.
Of course.
So
wait a minute. Or is that pulling a
Oliver did it first. No wheelchairs involved this week.
Okay.
So Felicity uses Palmer technology to track her while Diggle and Laurel, dressed up as the Black Canary, heads out. Thea lets herself into Palmer Technologies and pushes Felicity to tell her about Oliver. Thea wants to try to talk about Oliver, but Felicity tells her Oliver wanted her out of harm's way. This never works.
How awkward is it that we're like meeting in Palmer Technologies?
I know, I'm sorry, but I would have fired Felicity.
That's just really kind of rubbing salt into the wound of the poor guy.
I mean, the wound is still open and gushing blood, and she grabbed the straight up sea salt, son, and she is just rubbing it vigorously. Yeah. And I'm just it's just, I don't even know why we went there at this point, if this is how it was going to end up. It just makes Felicity look bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, after that, we're on the rooftop where Sarah was murdered, and Oliver confronts Nissa, and he's like, I'm going to bring you back to Nan to provide justice. And Nissa refuses to fight, but he starts crap, and she's like, all right, you asked for it. And he actually gets the upper hand, but then Diggle and Black Canary kind of interrupt. Diggle has his gun looking all sexy. With still no
costume.
Yeah, what was it called? Something concealment. Was it alias conceal? It was identity. Was it just identity?
Identity concealing device.
Yes. He's like, you better not say mask. And I'm like, you really do need one, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a costume, but definitely a mask.
And a different coat.
I know. That same damn brown leather jacket. Oliver bails because he's like 3 against 1, even though I'm the almighty Sah-Him, heir to the demon. That's too much. Like, okay, whatever, Oliver. Later, Laurel speaks to Nissa, and Nissa's like, they shouldn't have helped her. But then Laurel's like, friends help each other. And she also says, hey, that doesn't seem like the Oliver I could know. And so if he could change for the bad, then you can change for the good, basically.
Right.
I like the little dig that she says, I don't know why you like to keep secrets considering the rift it caused with your friends.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Nissa. You ain't got no chill. She ain't got no chill whatsoever.
Well, you gotta think. She has been in a place where brutal honesty is the only way to survive.
No fun allowed.
No fun allowed at all. And she also was hurt by the whole mess. You know what I mean? And so she can't understand why she would hide something that could jeopardize her relationship with her when that was the same thing that she's done before.
Oh no, I totally get it. No questions about it. It was just so funny the way she said. I think why I love Nissa so much. Actually, she's not only can she kick butt, but she's just so blunt and to the point. Like, Nissa is the best female character on this show right now, which means by the end of the season she'll probably be crap because they just can't keep that constant going because they really messed Felicity up this season. And so I think that it was refreshing to have Nissa, and so now I'm really worried about what they're going to do with Nissa. Every time I like a female character, they mess her up.
She says what we all think.
Yes. Oh, at Palmer Technology, Diggle finds Felicity, and they kind of commiserate. And then we see Oliver telling Maceo they need to draw Nissa out now that she has allies. Malcolm shows up at Thea's, and Thea asks about Oliver. Malcolm actually tells her the truth, and then Thea wants to help. And Malcolm tries to talk her out of it, but then he's like, what do you need from me? And I'm like, what's the catch here, buddy? I don't trust you. Meanwhile, at Lila's, Diggle and Felicity find the baby crying, and Lila is gone. I was just like, this is not good. Oliver calls Diggle, and he's like, yo, you got 30 minutes. I'm going to trade you Nissa for Lila. And then Diggle blames Nissa for the situation, and Laurel was like, no, lay off of her. And then Nissa's like, I'm going to turn myself in. And she's like, you know what? We're better than this. We're not going to trade one life for another. We're going to come up with a different situation.
She's Captain Kirking.
Yes, of course.
There's no such thing as a no-win situation.
I literally thought that too. Cut to Felicity, Black Canary, and Diggle bringing Nissa to the appointed place. Oliver doesn't even crack when Felicity tries to plead with him, and I was just like, yes. Nissa hands herself, but not really, because he stops people from checking her, which was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Nissa hands herself over. Oliver frees Lila. However, before the League can take Nissa, they pull out guns and then begin fighting. But then, like, Nissa's captured anyway.
Right.
Oliver and Diggle fight was kind of lackluster. Nobody wants to see that. Oliver's about to kill Diggle when, well, as Thea would say, Mr. Diggle, when an arrow flies through his arm. Thea, in full, straight-up League of Assassin garb, stands her ground, and she's like, I'll shoot you again if you don't leave him alone. Oliver pulls the arrow out and leaves. And then we go back to Palmer Technology. Like, why aren't we in the other arrow cave, the backup arrow cave? Like, I don't understand why we're at Palmer Technology.
That was what I said when they left the original one.
I mean, once Merlin has a key, you go. You leave. Once the police know where you are, you don't want to be anywhere in the city where they know. So back at Palmer Technologies, the team kind of was like, oh man, Oliver really is gone, but we have to keep fighting. That was ho-hum. Cut to Oliver bringing Nissa to Roz and Nanda Parbat, and Roz is like, yeah, she stole something. And he finds it in the hilt of her sword. And I'm like, worst hiding place ever. Why didn't you just leave it in Starling City in a floorboard at that point?
Exactly.
Give it to Team Arrow. They'll destroy it.
Maybe.
Ray will find an antidote. Like,
maybe.
Anyway.
I would have left it with Barry Allen.
I'm saying.
That would have been safer.
Yeah, put it in the metafield containment. Metahuman containment or something.
But then Wells would have had access to it, so.
Yeah, that's never good. Then he's like, yo, Oliver, you need to kill your rival. And so Nissa was like, I'm not afraid of you. Go ahead, kill me. I'm going to leave this world not afraid of you. And so Oliver literally is about to kill her. And then Roz, like, stops. And I'm like, he says that Oliver has done what he couldn't do, which was break her. And so spilling her blood would be an extreme that they don't need to take. And then he says, let's keep her alive and have our lines merge. And I'm like, okay, we're going to have Damian Queen instead of Damian Wayne at this point. But whatever. Just sigh. Cut to Starling City. Felicity visits Thea at her place. And Felicity says she loved Oliver. And I'm like, Felicity, everything is not about you. Shut up. I mean, seriously, I'm so sick of Felicity at this point. I'm just over it. But anyway, Thea's like, she hadn't known about them, and Felicity admits it was complicated. And she's like, then she tells her that Roy's alive, I guess to shut her up, and gives her his contact information, aka the secure sat phone that she gave him. So that was another ho-hum, people don't really interact like this scene.
Yeah, and did she give Thea another untraceable sat phone so that, they can't backtrace it the other way?
I don't think that she did. Felicity's off her game. She's heartbroken.
That's true. Because that could be bad.
Yeah, but I mean, he's dead. They're not looking for him. Back in Nanda Parbat, Roz says the final step of initiation to becoming the heir is wiping out your former home. Roz reveals what Nissa has stolen, and of course, finally, the thing this season that has come back to bite Oliver in the butt is the Alpha and Omega bioweapon. That's what he's supposed to use to destroy Starling City. Hey, lucky you're immune to it.
Yeah, that's true.
I was just like, sigh. We did all of that for this. That's what the whole flashbacks have boiled down to. That is such garbage. I'm sorry. Like, really, we could have had literally 3 flashbacks this season. That's all we needed. Oh, speaking of the Hong Kong flashbacks, we see that the city is in a panic as the virus has begun to spread. Oliver, Tattoo, and Maseo blow up a truck from which Shreve soldiers were injecting civilians with the virus, which the civilians thought was the actual antidote. They head back to the apartment to collect Akio, only to find his guardian is dead. Akio is still alive, so the group plans to flee Hong Kong under the cover of chaos. However, Akio begins bleeding from the mouth. He's infected. I guess he gave his cure to the lady, which she died anyway.
Yeah.
Was the implication of that?
That would be my assumption as well.
Or maybe it's not an antidote at all. Maybe they're all going to start bleeding from their mouth. But we know that can't be the case because Oliver's alive. So I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah, we'll see how true it is. I mean, I can't believe that they just killed a kid on the CW.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, say, what? Well, he's infected. We don't actually really know what it actually does yet.
Right.
It can make you a zombie for all we know. Anyway, that's kind of where we end the episode. I literally don't even, I'm not impressed at all. Best thing I can say about this episode was Malcolm wasn't as obnoxious as he usually is. The best thing I can say about this episode. But that's
And Laurel was trying to stick up for Nissa. because Nissa helps her feel closer to her sister.
But then again, if you say it like that, that makes it seem like Laurel's being selfish and just kind of stubborn and pig-headed.
But I think she genuinely likes Nissa too.
Who even knows at this point what those intentions really are, because we never get to get inside of Laurel's head ever.
Right. We don't even know she has a head.
So sometimes it doesn't seem like it. She definitely seems like she runs around like a chicken without its head a lot of the times. So yeah. Grade.
I mean,
you cannot say on 2 episodes, Kelly.
It was awful. I mean, for this season, it's probably a C-. You know, this season has just been awful to begin with. It's just a pretty much average awful, which is sad because I don't like to say that because I loved Arrow. This season has hurt my soul. So please fix it. You got a few more episodes left. Please redeem yourselves in my eyes.
You better just hold out hope for the season 4 premiere. I'm sorry, the season is a wash for me. It's just a wash. Because we all, like, basically, there's no denying that they're erasing all of this. So that makes it a wash. That means I sat through 23 episodes for nothing.
Yeah.
The Alassi shippers got baited for nothing. Like, that probably doesn't even matter at the end of the day.
Right.
That's an alternate timeline. Maybe she'll have memories like Cisco. This, for me, is another D-. I'm just going to say D as in dog. I'm over it. Nobody was likable in this episode. Not even Thea. Thea was really flat and bland. And I'm not blaming Willa's acting. I'm blaming the material that was provided. I'm assuming the stage direction that goes with it. So I'm sorry for being such a gloomy Gus, guys. I just, at this point, I'm calling it like I see it. I mean, when you ruin Felicity, like how is that even possible that I don't like Felicity?
Yeah, that's not normal. Yes.
That's insane. I never thought that was, and how the hell do I like Roy? How did Roy come out smelling the best out of the bunch? Roy Harper. This season is a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, but there was some good. I'm not gonna lie. I did have a favorite.
What was that?
Scene. Thea trying to get through to Oliver, because at the end of the day, the only relationship I honestly do care about is Quiggle and Oliver and Thea, his brother in arms and his biological sister. I mean, honestly, I feel like they, Felicity can go to either the Flash or the spinoff, and that could actually kind of be Team Arrow next season.
I hear you. This season has just been painful.
What was your favorite scene? I know what a lot of people's favorite scene was, though. It was Laurel and Nissa with the
milkshake and the fry. I think I liked that Nissa was mad for her keeping that from her and was blatantly honest enough to tell her the truth, because not very many people stand up to Laurel and tell her the truth.
Unless they're drunk and high on Sarah's...
Or her dad, who does it when he's really, hurt and upset. Yeah, where Nissa, she's not had that history and that long relationship with her, but she can say, hey, you know what? I'm ticked at you. This, how could you have kept this from me? Even though Laurel didn't know the significance, she shouldn't have kept it from her.
When it comes to the Arrow and Flash universe, secrets are bad and they're always deadly. So everybody just be honest. That would be refreshing, just to have a 100% pure honest, like one of those episodes where everybody has to be honest, like Liar Liar.
That would be funny.
That's an episode. Since we have magic in the universe now, bring on Zatanna and she casts a spell. That's all I'm saying. We can have so much fun now, like that Arrow doesn't...
Could we do that with a crossover? Because that would be a riot.
Yes, kind of like how when Barry was under emotional duress with the first crossover, but like everybody's affected.
That could be an absolute riot.
That is another one of those in a perfect world situations. Also, in another perfect world instance, I'm excited about the spinoff. I'm curious to see what it looks like. But let's be honest, a lot of the ladies that watch Arrow and Flash probably wanted a Birds of Prey spinoff. We would have had Katie Lutz as the White Canary. We would have had Laurel there. We would have had Felicity as like the pre-Oracle situation. We could have Thea thrown in there. We could have had the Huntress. We could have had Cupid as either a bad guy or a good guy. Think about it.
It would have been a riot.
She could replace the Harley Quinn character from the original Birds of Prey situation. I mean, if you wanted her to be the bad guy. We could have brought in Hawk Girl, and then maybe 2-3 seasons later bring in Wonder Woman. Throwing that out there. It's not too late. A Lady Justice League. We need to make that happen. Whether it's like a little CW like seed cartoon or something, I really want that to happen. That's all I'm saying. That in a perfect world, that's what would have been the spinoff. I mean, because I know for a fact that I don't know if I should even really say this. I'm pretty sure that Reign is only gonna get this next season. And Beauty and the Beast is probably only gonna get season 4 because that'll get them to the number for syndication because they want to end on a happy note and send it off to Netflix. So they're not gonna and Vampire Diaries next season is probably its last season as well. And so iZombie has actually done pretty well given its circumstances, and so that's a female-led drama, but they're definitely going to need to have another female show pretty soon. So it's unfortunate that they didn't just kind of put this off and like really think for the spinoff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I totally get that.
I just think that Ladies would have been a really good way to go because, I mean, Agent Carter did okay. Got season 2, And Supergirl, the interest for Supergirl is at an all-time high. So, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's a missed opportunity to have some... Like, Nikita was a really big hit in its first season, and it got all kind of out of whack a little bit. But Ladies doing action, that appeals to both guys and girls. Nothing like a lady with a gun. Maybe if I'm not wishing to spin off any ill will at all, and it could even be a summer show. Like, I just really feel like it needs to happen because I don't feel like they let the lady characters develop enough on their own show. So yeah, like that's all that I'm saying is that I just really want to see the ladies in this universe kind of step up and shine a little bit more than what they have been. Shameless plugs and self-promotion, I guess.
You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and anywhere else really that matters at Super Squint. That's SuperSquint. You can also read me on voiceoftv.com, and you can listen to me with Phil and Tyler on Before the Bat, and also on Fleshpoint with the lovely Miss Lilith.
You can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. You can find me on Tumblr, LilithFairyHellfire.tumblr.com. Please be sure to check out my blog, which is dedicated to pop culture junkies and comic book geeks alike, littlepopculturevulture.blogspot.com. I would like to encourage you guys to go to iTunes to rate, review, and subscribe. And please download the episodes because
streaming doesn't count.
And would you like to tell them where they can find our podcast network on the interwebs?
Oh, sure. Go to southgatemediagroup.com and you can find bazillions of podcasts. It sure seems like it. And blogs dedicated to, anything you're probably interested in. Anything from Pinterest to Star
Wars to anime.
Yeah, everything. So come check us out. And we also have a provider page on iTunes. It's pretty handy too. So go check it out. All you gotta do is
type in Southgate Media Group and it'll pop right up for you. And it'll give you the trending podcasts and podcast episodes. So
make sure you go listen to It's Not the Worst Podcast Ever with Molly interviewing Timothy Ombudsman because it's pretty awesome.
I love that man. I loved him on Sight. I love him as Kane on Supernatural. And it's a shame Gallivant didn't kind of work out for more episodes.
Well, they're talking, that we should know very soon about season 2 for Gallivant.
Oh, I was under the impression it was not coming back.
Well, he mentioned to Molly that we should find out in the next couple weeks, so.
Nice. So yeah, I think that, wait, if you guys want to follow the podcast on Twitter, we are QC_SMG. We are queenconsolidated.smg@gmail.com if you want to shoot us an email. And we are queenconsolidatedpodcast.tumblr.com if you want to find us there. Really, there's not going to be much on the Tumblr for this or Flashpoint until the summer. I'm going to probably go back, put all Kelly's recaps for Flash Season 1 and all my Arrow recaps for Queen Consolidated for Arrow. And then like some episode guides, some GIFs, some screen caps and stuff like that. So until the summer, pretty much it is what it is right now, guys. I apologize, but the summer we're gonna have so much fun. I plan on doing a really cool giveaway. I got when the season 4 starts for Arrow. If you've been following us on social media over the summer, you'll learn how you can enter our grand prize giveaway, which is an Arrow hoodie, Queen Consolidated t-shirt. I got one of those the Paul Blackthorne.
Oh yeah. Poached eggs, not elephants.
Yeah, poached eggs, not elephants. I got 3 of those t-shirts, so that's definitely gonna be, one of them is gonna be in the package. I've got the tie-in novels, the dossier, and the actual story, all of Arrow season 2.5 digital, and all of Green Arrow from issue 30 to 40. 22 to 40 in digital format as well. So yeah, it's going to be a really big, good prize package. Also, season passes on either Amazon or iTunes for season 4. So
wow,
more as that story develops.
I want to win, man.
You're not eligible, Kelly.
Oh, doggone it.
Maybe I'll send you until next Wednesday, unless you're stuck on a hellish island. Hopefully you live tweet with us as well as downloading the next episode.
Queen Consolidated, signing off.